Hey everyone, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews, also home to the best MJ community. Today is Tuesday, it's September 26th. Hope you're doing awesome. And in this video, we're going to be discussing the stock Canopy Growth, specifically ticker CGC on the NASDAQ. We did get the results from the annual meeting, and the reverse split share consolidation was approved by shareholders. We're going to discuss all that and more. We'll take a look at the chart and what to expect in terms of price action in days and weeks and months ahead. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post a new video. Also make sure to give Pow Group a follow on X, which is previously Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And again, the handle for that is @GroupPow. Also make sure to check out powmerch.ca. There's a 10% off. Thank you for the end of the month. Until the end of September, you can use code POWG420. As a thank you, I really do appreciate, love each and every one of you who supported me along the way. Over 20 orders so far. You can get your Team Canopy hoodie here, Pursuit of Wealth edition, and there's also some hats as well. A couple people have already ordered those. So if you do get your swag, let me know. Send me a picture on X or directly in the Pow Group private community if you're a private member, and I'm going to do something cool at the end with all of the pictures. Also, I posted this video yesterday. It's a must-watch, big week ahead in MJ. And one of the things I talked about in that video were the results from the Canopy Growth meeting yesterday. I said it could come out later on today, if not tomorrow. And then sure enough, today, which is today, came out this morning. And then I talk about SAFER Banking, which is on the 27th at 9:30 in the morning. And then the Benzinga conference started on the 27th and 28th. So I highly encourage you to check that video out. It's a big week. And we could see HHS recommendations sign off by the DEA over the next 1 to 2 months, in my opinion. And the charts are looking really good, primed for an end-of-year rally. We're seeing golden crosses. We're seeing some monthly uptrends confirm across the sector, and then tons of potential uptrends that could confirm. And then, like I said, golden crosses across the sector. So this is what we want to see, and we'll take a look at the chart here, and I'll point that out here in a moment. But we'll go through the news here. Canopy Growth announces results of the annual general and special meeting of shareholders. I mentioned that this was probably going to happen, the share consolidation. The board of directors recommended that everybody vote in favor of all proposed resolutions, and everything was approved. So this wasn't really a surprise, but just because it was approved, the share consolidation and reverse split doesn't mean it's going to be enacted, right? So the timing is good because they still have until mid-January to regain compliance, at which time they could even get a 180-day extension from the NASDAQ, which there's been tons of companies who have gotten that extension. But it's good timing because we have SAFER Banking vote tomorrow, and we also have a government shutdown looming. So it could either go one of two ways. It could be really good or it could be really bad. So if the government shuts down, that means that the likelihood of getting some sort of legislation with regards to safe banking passed before this end of this session, we might not see anything happen until the new administration comes in the election year in 2024, right? So if we don't see something pass now, this could diminish the hopes of something passing before the next election. So we need something to pass. So this is an all or nothing. This is a make or break moment for the MJ industry. If we don't see SAFER Banking get passed tomorrow, then like I said, this could be a very bad reaction. We do have Benzinga starting tomorrow as well. So again, if this passes, things could absolutely skyrocket. It's going to be, it's not going to be that big for the industry, but it will raise the profile and it will start to create more momentum and a snowball effect, especially with the DEA due to sign off on HHS recommendation of Schedule 3, which could be huge for the industry, specifically the U.S. operators. But we'll go through the news here. Canopy Growth announced today the voting results from the annual general and special meeting of shareholders held on September 25th, and a total of 350,593,653 common shares of the company, representing 48.88% of the issued and outstanding shares, were voted in connection with the meeting by the company shareholders and proxy holders. All of the matters put forward before the company shareholders for consideration and approval, as set out in the company's definitive proxy statement dated August 8, 2023, were approved by the requisite number of votes cast at the meeting, as further detailed below. Each of the directors listed as the nominee in the proxy statement was elected at the meeting to serve as a director of the company until the company's next annual shareholder meeting or until his or her successor is duly elected or appointed. The detailed results for the vote of the election of directors held at the meeting are set below. So you can see here Judy and then David Klein, all of them got overwhelming support in votes for. So everything was over 94%. Canopy Growth shareholders also approved the appointment of PKF O'Connors Davies LLP as the company's auditors and independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024, and authorized the company's board of directors to fix their remuneration. In addition, Canopy Growth shareholders approved the adoption of the company's new equity incentive plan, the amendment to the articles of the company to provide, among other things, to consolidate the company's issued and outstanding shares, which we knew was a 15-to-1 reverse split. So that was approved. And again, that wasn't a surprise. an advisory non-binding resolution on the compensation of the company's named executive officers, and the issuance of shares pursuant to certain outstanding convertible debentures in the amount that is in excess of 19.99% and 25% as applicable of the number of shares outstanding on the date of issuance of such debentures in accordance with applicable stock exchange rules. So for complete results on the matters voted at the meeting, you can check the company's report of voting results, which will be filed on company's SEDAR Plus profile, or Form 8K, which will be filed on EDGAR. Again, this wasn't really a surprise, but again, just because they approved the reverse split doesn't mean it's actually going to go through. They could still regain compliance. Right, yesterday, if we take a look at the chart, yesterday they closed at 94, so we haven't restarted that timer yet. We were going for 8 days in a row, and then last Wednesday we closed at 87 cents. So we had 7 days in a row. We were going for the 8th. We had the possibility of regaining compliance last week, but we didn't do it. And now this week we're starting to try to get back over that $1, but we're in a daily downtrend with a lower high, lower low. We could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross as we head toward daily oversold. So it's not looking great, but like I said, with SAFER banking tomorrow, it could go either way. Like I said, it could be really bad, really good. None of us have a crystal ball, but I am leaning bullish. I think that this time around it could be different, and I think it could finally pass the Senate. We know that we have tons of movement with regards to the MJ industry, with regards to HHS and the monumental decision to reschedule from Schedule 1, meaning no medical benefits and super addictive, to Schedule 3, which would be huge, would also remove 280E tax burden. This would send the sector absolutely soaring, and again, that is the catalyst I think that we needed to knock us out of this multi-year bear market and start a multi-year bull market. So again, none of us have a crystal ball, but I am leaning toward bullish. And that's not just because of my bias. It's just because, this is, a dozen times now almost that we've seen, safe banking introduced in some form in Congress, and eventually one of these times it's going to get passed. And like I said, if it doesn't get passed tomorrow, then there's a good chance that nothing might happen. Nothing could happen until the new administration comes in 2024. So this is going to be very, very big in MJ this week. But keep in mind that if safer banking does get let down, we still have the DEA to fall back on, potentially signing off on HHS's recommendation of Schedule 3. So all hope won't be lost. And then, like I said, even on the chart, we're starting to see golden crosses emerge across the sector. CGC still a long ways away before it sees its 50-day moving average cross the 200-day moving average and see a golden cross. But if you take a look at some of the peers like Tilray, it's already seeing its golden cross occur. SNDL seeing a golden cross, and then lots of other names seeing it as well. If you bring up, like, say, for example, Cureleaf already had its golden cross. If we bring up High Tide, it's seeing a golden cross as well. So this is looking really good. This is what we want to see when all names are seeing golden cross across the sector, not just retailers and producers in Canada, but also in the US and ETFs, right? If we take a look at MSOS, we're seeing a golden cross there as well. We can even bring up HMMJ ETF, very close to seeing its golden cross, and MJ as well, very close to seeing its golden cross. So it's looking over the next couple of months, we could see some massive fireworks leading into the end of the year here. So it's looking really, really good in terms of technicals, but again, we have to keep in mind that we could be let down again. We've been let down time and time again, so that's just what we have to expect until something's different. But we need to expect a surprise and be prepared for up, down, or sideways. That's how the market can go. And tomorrow, we very well could get a great result, or we could get a terrible result. And we also have the Benzinga conference. But like I said, if it get a terrible result, it's not all hope lost, because we still have DEA potentially signing off on the recommendation of Schedule 3. So we'll keep that on the back of our minds. But as of right now, all eyes will be on safer banking going into tomorrow. The MORE Act was also reintroduced. So there's definitely lots of movement in MJ. But again, the government shutdown looming in the next 3 days or so could also spell disaster for the equity markets as well, and we wouldn't be spared in MJ. It definitely would not be immune. So right now it could go either way. It's probably like a 50-50, but in terms of the reverse split, just because it was approved doesn't mean it's going to be enacted, but it very well could be. I would put the odds around 60% chance it will and 40% chance that it won't. They have until mid-January to regain compliance, at which point they could even get an extension, 180-day extension. But if we take a look at the weekly time frame, we're still well above the 10-week moving average. We are seeing a little bit of a clue here that we're seeing a bear cross on the stochastic. MACD still bullish, but a little concerning that we're seeing the stochastic cross bearish here leading into the safer banking vote. And we also hit our head at the 50 weekly moving average, and we're pulling back. So at the moment, like I said, we're still quite a ways away from seeing a golden cross on CGC as well, but we are holding those 100 and the 50-day moving average here on this pullback. The 50-day moving average is there at 62 cents. So if we do see further consolidation, that could be a nice bottom to be targeting there at 62 cents USD on the NASDAQ. So for CGC, actually, I said NASDAQ, but it's NYSE. So that's what we'll be watching for. A lot of names are on the NASDAQ, but essentially I was just meaning USD. So you see Tilray on the NASDAQ. Whoops, you got OGI on the NASDAQ as well. Pretty much all of them are on the NASDAQ, SNDL. And then, yeah, I forgot CGC was one of the only ones that is on the NYSE. But going to end it there, let me know what you think of this news. Actually, it says NASDAQ here. So I'm confused. I was pretty sure it was on the NASDAQ. So yeah, CGC, NASDAQ. Yeah, I think they were on the NYSE and then they migrated to the NASDAQ, but for some reason Stock Church is showing NYSE still. So going to end it there. Let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. Going to end it there. We'll continue the conversation in the comment section. Always love hearing from you, but going to end it there. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Big week ahead for the MJ industry and SAFER banking vote scheduled for tomorrow at 9:30. But hope you have a great night, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.